Valisthea, the world of Final Fantasy XVI, is a dark and ruthless place where betrayal, death, conquest, war, and oppression are integral to the story. In a recent hands-on preview of the game's first 4 hours, it became clear that Final Fantasy XVI presents a much grimmer and more serious tone compared to previous entries in the franchise. The game's opening acts are filled with cutscenes and cinematic flair, utilizing the impressive visuals of the PlayStation 5 to deliver an experience reminiscent of a prestige drama. The protagonist, Clive, is showcased in his teenage years, and the preview explores the tragic events that lead to a widespread war, fueled by his royal family's business. The story aims to delve into the character's humanity within a world filled with violence and suffering. One of the notable aspects of Final Fantasy XVI is its departure from the whimsical and light-hearted elements typically associated with the franchise. The game takes itself quite seriously, and while Clive's family, the Rosefields, rules over the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, there is little room for whimsy. Clive, a talented swordsman who can partially use Ifrit's powers, is not the one destined to inherit the power of Phoenix, a distinction that goes to his younger brother Joshua. Joshua, however, is a timid boy caught between his royal duty and his desire to live a carefree life. The concept of dominance is introduced to explain the ability to summon and transform into icons, godlike beings capable of mass destruction. While this ability may seem like a blessing, it is revealed to be a curse, evident in the early hours of the game. As the nation of Rosaria embarks on a war, the relationship between Clive and Joshua is portrayed as one of genuine warmth and care, rather than a strained sibling dynamic. This human connection amidst the turmoil is a hallmark of the Final Fantasy series. The preview also highlights the ugliness of humanity with sadistic candor. Tragedy and betrayal befall Clive and his family, depicted with graphic detail rarely seen in the series. The game thrusts players into the midst of intense combat scenarios between icons, immersing them in the brutal reality of war. Additionally, tensions run high as leaders of different nations meet behind closed doors, revealing conniving and power-hungry sides. The voice acting and sharp dialogue heighten the tension in these scenes. Within the war-ravaged world, a significant part of the story focuses on the enslavement of certain types of magic users. These individuals are forced into labor and treated as pawns, reflecting the darker aspects of the game's setting. However, there is a complex dynamic at play, as dominance and some magic users are held in high regard while others are mistreated. This theme of oppression and liberation will likely play a key role in the narrative. Clive finds himself caught in the middle, forced to serve in the war due to his combat talents. Marked as the Branded One, he carries a visible mark on his face, which becomes a topic of discussion among his fellow soldiers. The game introduces Clive's companion, Sidolphus, the dominant of Rama, who leads a rebellion against the oppressive system. Clive's desire for revenge for his brother's fate drives his actions, but the chaotic world around him presents an opportunity for growth and a deeper connection to the complex story. In terms of gameplay, Final Fantasy XVI offers a departure from traditional turn-based combat. While RPG elements are still present, the game embraces a fast-paced stylish action approach reminiscent of the Devil May Cry series. Players control Clive, who can switch between different icons with their unique abilities, resembling loadouts. The combat system allows for seamless and exhilarating combo chains, aerial maneuvers, and devastating attacks. The gameplay footage and earlier previews have showcased the influence of combat director Ryota Suzuki's work on Devil May Cry 5, with the combat in Final Fantasy XVI bearing similarities to the intense and fluid action of that game. During the preview, the player had the opportunity to customize Clive's moveset for each icon, such as Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan. This customization enabled the player to perform wild combos, aerial juggles, and powerful ground slams to deal heavy damage to enemies. The boss battles also proved challenging, requiring precise dodging of area of effect attacks and exploiting the stagger system, similar to the mechanics found in Final Fantasy VII Remake. To cater to players with different skill levels and preferences, Final Fantasy XVI offers equipable accessories that act as gameplay assists. These accessories allow players to automate certain actions, such as dodging or executing combos, or even slow down time to better evade enemy attacks. This ensures that both action-oriented players and those primarily interested in the story can enjoy the game at their preferred pace. While the combat system has shown its potential for high-level play and thrilling action, the opening hours of the game primarily focus on easing players into the experience. Initially, the combat may feel somewhat simplistic, with players relying on basic attacks, ranged magic shots, and the occasional use of icon abilities. However, as the game progresses, it is expected that players will unlock new abilities and develop a deeper understanding of the combat mechanics, ultimately allowing them to unleash their full potential. Throughout the Final Fantasy series, a balance between inspiring heroics and moments of levity has been a defining characteristic. The games often tackle sobering themes and present characters who express their emotions vividly. While Final Fantasy XVI maintains a mature and serious tone, it aims to strike a balance by infusing elements of joy and humanity into the story. The development team, Creative Business Unit 3, known for their work on the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, has demonstrated their ability to create compelling narratives, lovable characters, and captivating political dramas. Their success with Final Fantasy XIV raises anticipation for what they can achieve with this new entry. As with many RPGs, unanswered questions and the full depth of the story can only be experienced by playing the complete game. The preview has piqued interest in the intriguing plot, intense combat, and the evolution of the beloved franchise. Final Fantasy XVI is set to launch on June 22, 2023, exclusively for PlayStation 5, and fans eagerly await the opportunity to embark on a new journey through the dark and captivating world of Valisthea.